the introduction. So today I will present you this user-based authentication for wireless home network. In fact, it's how to provide a sound solution for user-based authentication for our wireless home network. Just outline of the presentation. First of all, I will depict the current situation of most wireless home networks. Then the raising question is about why there is opportunity to provide a user-based authentication at home. Then short hints about the 802.1x solution, which is the solution mainly deployed on corporate environment. And besides this solution, the limitation regarding our target environment, home network. Then our proposal, in fact, it's more about how to adapt this scheme for the home network, and then conclude the presentation. So, just today, what is the current situation? In fact, now most of home networks implement the so-called scheme, which then is WPA2PSK. In fact, it's a so-called share key model. In fact, you have the same secret is required to connect the home network. And so, based on that, there are some known weaknesses. And the first one, since you have the secret, you can eavesdrop the communication of other connected devices, the so-called passive sniffing. And then also it's very easy to spoof the MAC address of the device. So that means that we cannot provide a strong access control based on this MAC address. So that's the main weakness regarding the client. And now, if we have a look to the access point itself, there is no way to authenticate the access point, meaning that maybe you can connect to the neighbor access point. There is no way to verify this authentication server. So, besides the security weakness of the scheme itself, we target home environment, and home environment is also about user and home user. And home users are not security aware sometimes, and sometimes even if they are security aware, that they can configure also their wireless network in such a case with very weak password, because of, for example, if you don't want to type a very long passphrase on your connected device. Another issue, generally we use on network user use the same key for years maybe, and here I can ask a question for everybody who has changed his wireless passphrase for the last 2 years. Nobody? Yes, that's great. And another question, who has changed his original long passphrase to easy to guess passphrase? Nobody? I think most of the people here are security aware, so that's good. Another point is it's also easy as I mentioned before, it's not so hard now to make a rogue access point. Rogue access point, what does it mean? Is you try to connect your own network, but you connect the one of the neighbor. You know? So it's very easy to trick user to connect bad access point from rogue access point. Another interesting point also is now the trend, because user behavior evolves, and the home network also itself. From few connected devices before, let's say 5 years ago, so now we have many devices at home. We shift from home devices, from several home devices to users' devices. It's often you have the connected phone from each member of the family. It's possible. You have tablets. You have so many devices. And beyond this user behavior, we have also this kind of always connected behavior. So when a guest comes to your home, generally you want to connect to the internet. So, and another similar behaviors. Generally, people come get their work device and come with their work device at home. So in this case also, they need the secret key. So that's just to summarize the situation. So on network security and on network now, of course, as I mentioned before, the scheme itself has known weakness, and especially regarding how the user manages this key. And the same key may be spread over many devices for many years. So maybe, I don't know, maybe 20, 50, I don't know how many devices have this key. And sometimes it's not difficult to recover the key. And access control, if user want to build an access control, because it's not obvious with MAC address filtering, you know. So if he wants, the access control should be weak. So there's no access rights between devices. You have the same rights for your device and from the device from a guest coming to your home. So, and above this, there's no way to monitor the activity of user. You only have something you can monitor device, but it's not usual to monitor device. So you have, to summarize, you give the key is spread, and you don't know if someone knocks the door and open and come to your home network and go. So that's the current situation. So the idea here is just looking at maybe in the next future, does it make sense to think about the user-based authentication? So, what about user-based authentication? What could be user-based authentication? What are the advantages of this model? Of course, it's about to improve the security. So rather than base the security on a common secret, we can enable an authenticated channel for on per user secret basis. Also, what would be interesting is mutual authentication between client and server. Also means to trust the server, and above this, just to have tools to control who connects the network rather than which device connects it. And beyond the security aspect, is also an interesting feature also. It's to enable user-based feature like user-based access control. Let's say that if you do not want your children to connect to the internet, let's say after 9 o'clock, it could be easy to write rules for it. So, and also to user-based access control and user-based monitoring also, it's interesting. And it's a fine-grained monitoring. And also for the next feature coming soon, it's about leveraging user-based recommendation, as we discussed on the tutorial. There were discussion about it. So now, what we are based on is the so-called 802.1x scheme, which is everybody knows it. It's mainly deployed on corporate environment where you type your username and your password. It's almost a good chance that it's this scheme in use. So what this scheme add? It's an additional element which name is it's here. It's on the authentication server. So very simply, the authentication, what it authenticates the device, and only after authentication, let's say username, password, it gives the key back to the authenticator to allow the device to access the network. So based on that, what are the major improvements and maybe also the limitation regarding our context? Of course, improvements is about now the master key is derived from a user secret, not a common shared secret. We can enable a mutual server and client authentication. This prevents basically the passive sniffing, the passive eavesdropping of communication of connected devices. And based on that, it is quite easy to enable user-based access control. But okay, that works. So let's implement this to on network. But it's not so obvious. So just it's about the limitation. This scheme is very well adapted for corporate environment. For example, to connect to a given wireless network, you need to configure a network profile. By default, Windows, for example, Windows network profile want to connect to an Active Directory, which is specific means of Microsoft. So it's not obvious. Of course, we need also to implement an authentication server on network, which is quite new. And also within a corporate environment, you have standardized devices configured by the on-network administrator, and so they are security aware, and so that's quite different than in our context. We have no corporate administrator, own network user, little bit administrator, much more owner. So, and the security must be taken into account for this. So just to so let's explain the requirements that we need to adapt such a scheme to the own environment context. So let's present three main points. So the first one, just regarding the previous slide, it's about as I mentioned, on network users are not corporate administrators, so we have to limit the so-called administrative tasks. So just simply, like let's say, push the button for enabling a kind of registration, and let's the user to self-register. So of course, we must ensure the security. Besides this, security in provisioning the network profile, the correct network profile, and also the security for the registration. An additional policy to forbid user to use maybe a weak password or something like that. We also need to authenticate our gateway, our own network server, authentication service, not the one of the neighbor. So this means that we must implement some specific stuff for that. And since we are in a home network environment, we have many operating systems that we must address, of course. So that's what is our proposal. In fact, our proposal is just a contribution, our contribution to adapt the scheme. So regarding the first part, to limit the administrative task, we propose to have a free registration channel, so-called SSID, in that when the user connects to this specific channel, is redirected to a captive portal to make and then to download an applet for self-registration purpose. For the security, we must implement also an authenticated server on our gateway. And in addition, we must be sure that we authenticate our server, not the neighbor one. We must avoid a rogue assessment, so we must have a scheme. We must provide a certificate, and verify the certificate to be sure that we connect the gaming one. That the method in use will propose to use a classical method to connect with username and password, and then with this in end, we must secure the certificate delivery, of course, and also the registration policy must avoid, let's say, weak password. To address the multiple operating system, we use a so-called SU1X framework, which is a tool to provision a network profile, and it works on many operating systems like Windows, iOS, or Android. So just to summarize the situation, two links, remember, just to recall. The first one is the unregistered user with his laptop, for example, want to register. It connects the free registration channel, then redirected to a captive portal managed by these tools, the deployment tools, which help the user to configure both the network profile and his user credential. And then once it's both the device and user are configured, and then the user can switch to the 802.1x channel. So just to summarize each step. So the first one is about the gateway configuration. In fact, in this step, the network administrator, let's say, within his dashboard or something like that, is connected to the network gateway and enable the registration. In turn, the network gateway gives back an access code, and this access code it can communicate to unregistered user. I will explain why. Just the need of this access code. This code is used once, only for the next time another access code will be created. The second step is about remember it's about first configure the network profile. So to do so, as I mentioned earlier, the unregistered user is redirected to a captive portal where you can get the configuration applet and download the profile and the certificate also. And in this steps, all the network profile and the certificate are encrypted with the access code. So why is just to be sure that we configure the things coming from our own network. So based on that, the user enters access code. Automatically, the profile is the network profile is configured, as well as the certificate inside the device. So this step of the, let's say, the client device configuration. After the client device configuration, we are about the user registration, and automatically the user, there's a connection established between the device and the gateway with the access code used once. And then at this step, the user can enter his username and password, and a request is sent to the network gateway for that. And then, only after that, the user can authenticate with his username and password. We have also an additional mechanism similar with the captive portal. And so when the user password has expired, we also have we can get the configuration applet to renew the password. So just to conclude the presentation, so what are the benefits of such a situation? So first of all, the idea is to fill this gap of having many devices at home in next future and without user-based control. So that's what we try to provide. So it's we improve, of course, also the overall security thanks to the scheme, the security scheme, and enable so-called user paradigm at home, a user-based authentication, then user-based access control. Why not user-based monitoring? And the tools is available for many operating systems. And just to there also we can leverage two additional features. The one which is interesting is since we have user-based access, we can leverage user-based recommendation service on the top of that. And very easy to do that. It's to generate client certificate also for remote access. That could be interesting also. And just to finish, the limitation of further works is we know that devices have not yet all the 82.1x capability. Multi-user device also current limitation because let's say that tablets today are not multi-user, but it's going to change. I know that the next generation of some tablets, maybe iPad, will be multi-user. And for the further works, we know we have to make sure that the applet we download should be, of course, securely signed. Also, what we have to take care is about the security of the gateway itself, because now with such we have a private key, we have user password, and so on. We have to make sure that all the stuff is secure. And last point is about a user acceptance. Let's say the mental model to use this solution. So we are not user interface guide. So we have to work with people having this knowledge to be sure that it meets user executives. So, thank you for your attention. And, any questions if you want?
Thank you very much for your presentation. Any questions from the audience?
I have one question. When you enable the registration, the user registration, and you send the access code from to the new user, then I think you are considering that can be sniffed?
No.
No? You cannot?
Okay, I consider maybe at this point, when we talk about communicating access code, the access code is about, let's say, a PIN code, no? Very, very short, and you communicate by voice. No?
Okay.
That's, of course, this is a secret channel, secret voice channel, or whatever. What do you want? But of course.
Okay, I thought the secure channel or the voice channel was the user partner.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I have just one question to this one thing I always discuss with everybody that modifies link layer security protocol. My reasoning is that nowadays, from my point of view, we live in a heterogeneous world where we have devices that can connect to many besides Wi-Fi. I don't know, LTE or Wi-Fi and so on. So there's a very good protocol for the IPF. It's called PAN, it's a EAP carrier over IP. So the thing they really want to do is to make independent the authentication, okay, from the link layer. So in the end, it's very usable with the well-known Howard Glass IP protocol. It's just in the middle, and everybody knows it. So have you considered the use of PAN?
No, but thank you to tell me something about that. I don't know about it, but just to mention something, maybe it's not clear. We only use legacy protocol. No? It's we didn't change anything on the protocol itself. Okay, it's just about the configuration. When I talk about network profile, it's just a setting of the network configuration. And so we help the user, the on-network user, to configure this. That's the goal, but we don't change. Of course, we also have already not implemented, but think about modifying the protocol, but it's useless because we cannot standardize protocol. So in fact, we have a proof of concept to modify the authentication server and to modify the client with not too many EAP modification, EAP authentication, but it's not legacy. It's out of the legacy use of the use of legacy protocols. So we avoid this.
Yeah. Okay. Now, from the video, your solution is security. You're using a popular protocol, Neumann, and you are providing something very useful. It's an applet for configuration. My concern was just if we change the technology, we need to replicate this to another link layer. That was my.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, I misunderstood it. Yes, maybe. Yes, you're right. Yes, so only this comes from things. We are discussing. Everybody now want to have many devices at home. We have to many user devices. Everybody wants a user recommendation. But how you can enable this if you do not know which user connects your network? So okay, if you have mobile phone, it's okay. But if you have most of connected too. I said, do not have this. So I think about maybe 5 years ago, 5 years, maybe 5 years, we need that. So that's a good indications. Maybe next iPad will be multi-user also, because I don't know. It's just what's the basis of our source.
More, any other question? Okay, so nice talk. Thank you very much.